everybody, and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and today we're going to talk about friends in Dead by Daylight. Now, Dead by Daylight is a very difficult game to balance. You may disagree with that, but just given its asymmetrical nature and the ability to have survive with friends creates a big disparity between survival rates of people who are in Survive with Friends and solo queues. People who are in Survive with Friends just have extra information, especially if they're on comms. Just using that chatter to telegraph what each player is doing to just give so much more information than solo players who are just blindly in parts of the map and they don't know what's going on with the other survivors. So that's why I say it becomes a difficult game to balance. If you balance the game to help those solo players survive, then Survive with Friends are just going to stomp on killers. Now, if you balance the game so that killers can compete with Survive with Friends, then the solo players just get left behind. We've seen Dead by Daylight acknowledge the discrepancy here, and they've even used their own statistics to tell us that just being in Survive with Friends can increase your rate of survival by 15%. So back in January, Dead by Daylight put out this developer update announcing their intentions to help shore up this solo survivor experience. When you click this link, it took you to the official Dead by Daylight forums where it talks about the future of the solo survivor experience. If you're reading this, you've been left on the hook at some point. Okay, maybe not, but the chances are very high. Thanks to skill-based matchmaking, we're able to see the impact playing with a pre-made group has on the outcome of the match at various skill levels, and the data confirms our suspicions. As skill goes up, so does the gap in survival rates between solo survivors and pre-made groups. In the top end of skill levels, the difference in escape rates can be as much as 15%. This isn't great. The difference between solo survivors and groups makes it difficult to find a perfect balance. If we balance killers around pre-made groups, solo survivors get left behind. Meanwhile, if we balance around solo survivors, killers have a rough time against groups. Hey, I guess I remember this article pretty well, because that's like what I said in the lead up here. With that in mind, we're working on some measures to bridge the gap between solo survivors and pre-made groups, which will allow us to better balance killers as a result. We're aiming to strike a balance between making the solo players feel like they're part of the team without being overbearing. For example, we want to share key pieces of information, like what are my teammates doing, but not too much info, like showing everyone's exact location. And to put it simply, the idea is to bring solo survivors up to the same level, not give people excessive information that makes pre-made groups even stronger. So what they had intended to do, or one proposal of several years ago, was to give everybody built-in kindred, but that idea got scrapped because they thought that was too powerful. We want to share a very early peek at one potential way of closing this gap, and before we do, we want to stress that this is in the very early stages. We're curious to hear what you think, but please keep in mind that it may change or even be scrapped entirely. One feature we're experimenting with is a status icon next to each survivor's portrait in the HUD that lets you know what they are doing. This way, solo survivors can base their decision around what their teammates are doing, and partial groups get a better idea of their solo teammates' contributions, making everyone feel like more of a team. This is something that can already be easily conveyed with a quick call out over voice chat, definitely, but is currently not available to solo survivors. Once again, this is a very early preview, so early that we're still discussing this internally, and feel free to share your thoughts, but please keep in mind that none of this is final or confirmed. Depending on how things go, this feature may be changed or scrapped entirely before it ever sees the light of day. We want to be open about this and keep you in the loop. The gap between solo survivors and groups is not going under the radar. It's something that we're actively working on. So there were a few things that they did in this upcoming patch to kind of shore up that solo survivor experience. Giving everyone built-in borrow time when they get unhooked can help you from getting farmed but from a random teammate who is just in it for the we're gonna farm forever points. And so there's little things that they did, but I'm not sure that it's enough. One thing that I do like is the change to NOED so that the aura of the NOED will be visible with an ever-increasing radius up to 30 meters or whatever it is, so that solo teammates will go, I don't know you, I'm going to dip, I'm not going down to NOED, and just leave you on the hook when it's revealed that NOED is in the game. I do really like that change, but again, I'm not sure that it's enough. And again, this is a very difficult game to balance between solos and survive with friends. So this was the thing that they had proposed. This was the thing that had that early sneak peek. The link to it has been removed from the forum article, but they did credit this as this was actually someone on Reddit's design, and they gave them a shout out for it. I don't actually have that information on who designed this. I can't find it. But this was a Redditor creation that they showed as an example of what they had proposed to provide information to solo survivors, like what are my teammates doing, with these active and passive icons to show, like Dwight's working on a generator, Dwight's opening the gate, he's cleansing a totem, Dwight's being chased, Dwight's in the exit gate, etc., etc. Which this is a lot of information. I really like this design. I don't know how difficult it is to implement, but this was the proposal, and I would love to see this come in the game. However, when we reached the anniversary 6 months later with the roadmap and all of the quality of life changes, this was not discussed. So has it been scrapped? So then Dougman put this post up on the forums last week saying, what happened to these new survivor activity icons from the January developer update, saying, I was a little surprised that nothing was mentioned about this in the 6th anniversary roadmap, etc., since it had such a big section devoted to it in January, and it sounded like something that's definitely doable at a technical level. Is it still in the pipeline? Was it postponed to do all the big perk and base game changes in the next mid-chapter, and then it'll be back on track, or did it run into some unexpected issue and had to be scrapped? It's kind of mysterious, and it got me really curious. To which Peanuts replied here, they're not gone or forgotten, they're just on the back burner at the moment. We revealed this very early on, and it hasn't been slated for any particular update yet. The rest of the year is already booked with other changes, the ones mentioned during the anniversary stream and in the roadmap, but we'll come back to it once we have some time. The quality of life changes for the foreseeable future are here in case you missed it, and then we have the roadmap here where it says quality of life and ongoing changes are prestige and progression rework, perk balance overhaul, the Mori rework, preset loadouts, main menu visual update, matchmaking incentives, archive changes, streamer mode, the wiggle escape system, game flow improvements, and bots in custom matches. So it isn't slated until next year. So what do we do in the meantime here? So what's a solo survivor to do in face of these upcoming gameplay changes, which may arguably make it more difficult to survive against killers who are able to kick pallets quicker, have more gen regression on kicks, and when they hit survivors, they get less distance to run away from them? I don't know. It looks like in the interim, with these status icon changes and possibly not coming for quite a while, it looks like the answer is to make some friends. Honestly, I mean, you know, you can never have too many friends, and it looks like Dead by Daylight is willing to even help us find some friends. If you look at this last survey that they put out, I don't know if you took the last survey that came out on the weekend, but the survey here on this set question here, number 29, which of the following potential features would you most be interested in seeing added to Dead by Daylight? We have like 3 things here that will help you get friends in game. The ability to receive a reward for having your friends join Dead by Daylight. So that's you bringing more friends into the game. They're going to reward you for it. A friend suggestion feature to connect with new players. They're going to like suggest friends for you. They're like, hey, we think maybe you'd like playing with this person. Would you like to be friends? And then we have, where's the other one here? The ability to stay in a group with players you've been randomly matched with for future matches. So they're like, hey, you had good chemistry with that person. Would you like to play with them again? You might even make friends with these people. And then finally, there's a 4th option here with the addition of guilds. You want to be in my guild? We're going to create guilds, groups of people that you can count on to play with you all the time. They could be in your guild and they can be your survive with friends, partners. So there's like 4 options here on this question alone about we think you need some friends to help you get through the game. Oh, wow. And mobile is no different. In fact, they may even be on an accelerated program of spreading the word of friendship because they have introduced these daily squad tasks where they force you to squad up with people from your friends list in order to get these achievements. So it looks like in the interim, the answer is friendship. Now, you can't have too many friends. I'm, all for friendship. Through Dead by Daylight, I've met people that I never would have met in my regular everyday life and have created some thriving friendships through the game. I know people who have actually met one another through Dead by Daylight and gotten married, so I'm very in favor of friendship in Dead by Daylight. But, there's people out there who don't have any friends who play Dead by Daylight. They're on their own little island, that they're the only one in their friend or peer group who plays this game. They don't know anybody else who plays it. So maybe that's why Dead by Daylight is proposing these things, like suggesting friends to you in case you're just too shy to reach out to someone on your own and whatnot, and just creating friendship. And hey, maybe that's where Maurice went. Maybe Maurice has been taken from us because he's going to become the new sponsor. He's going to become the new My Little Pony. He's going to be Death Pony. And he's going to be like, friendship is magic in Dead by Daylight. Make some friends. And he's going to encourage friendship because friendship is magic. I don't know what the answer is here, but it looks like Solo Q may be in for a rough go for some time before they figure out how to enact those tweaks to help the solo survivor experience. But yeah, it looks like the message is being sent that friendship is magic, so stop trying to be a loner. Everybody needs somebody. All right, well, that's all I have for today. I thought this was a very interesting path that Dead by Daylight seems headed down here. And you out there, put yourself out there. Stop being a lone wolf. No person is an island. And as they say, it can be scary making new friends, but it sure beats having no friends. I don't know what you want to do with that. If you want to try and make some friends and increase your survival rate, or just hang on until possibly some help is coming in the game next year. But that's all I have for today. As always, I appreciate the time you spend here with me on my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life